Let's get frightened.
The wilderness can be beautiful, but it can also be deadly. And in the darkest corners of North America's forests, it's not just the cold and wild beasts you should fear. Among the dense pines lurks a creature born of desperation, of hunger so consuming it twists the soul into something unrecognizable. This is the story of the Wendigo. The crackling campfire painted flickering shadows on the dense trees surrounding them. Ellie sat cross-legged on a log, her father beside her, poking at the embers with a stick. The night air was crisp, filled with the earthy scent of pine and damp soil. "See?" Ellie's dad said, smiling. "I told you camping would be fun." Ellie gave a small nod, though she wasn't sure fun was the word. The towering trees felt too close, the night too quiet. The stories she had read about these woods clawed at the edges of her mind. Stories of something ancient and hungry that lurked in the darkness. A branch snapped somewhere beyond the fire's glow. Ellie glanced up and saw her dad's smile falter. He turned toward the noise, listening. Another snap. Closer. "Probably just a deer," he whispered. But Ellie could hear the uncertainty in his voice. A low, guttural breath drifted through the trees. Not human. Not animal. Something else. Her dad stood abruptly. "The wind's picking up. We should get inside the tent." Ellie followed without question, her hands trembling, only partly from the cold. She regretted reading up on these woods before their trip, even if they were just stories. They zipped themselves in, the thin fabric offering no real protection against the chill air. The fire outside still burned, its glow seeping faintly through the nylon. Then the breathing came again, closer this time. Sharp, strained wheezes, and then scratching. Long, deliberate drags of something sharp against their tent. She heard the nylon fabric of the tent rip, and her dad gasped. Ellie's dad held her close. She could feel his heart pounding against her back. Then, silence. Minutes passed. Then hours. Eventually, exhaustion overtook Ellie, and she drifted into an uneasy sleep.
The Wendigo is a creature deeply rooted in the Native American folklore of the Algonquin-speaking peoples, the Cree, Ojibwe, and Innu. The Wendigo is often said to be a malevolent spirit, sometimes depicted as a creature with human-like characteristics, which can possess human beings or instill them with sudden psychosis. The Wendigo is the embodiment of greed, gluttony, and the horrors of cannibalism. It is said to cause its victims a feeling of insatiable hunger, the desire to eat other humans, and the propensity to commit murder. It has also been said that those who resorted to consuming human flesh in times of desperation would be cursed. Cursed to become the Wendigo, forever hungry, forever starving, its body rotting and thin, its appetite endless. The more it eats, the hungrier it becomes. The Wendigo is gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones. With its bones pushing out against its skin, a complexion the ash gray of death, and eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looks like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it has are tattered and bloody, unclean and suffering from suppuration of the flesh. The Wendigo gives off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption. Basil H. Johnston, The winter of 1878 was unrelenting. Deep in the snowbound plains of Alberta, Swift Runner, a towering Cree trapper, returned to his family's isolated camp after the hunting season. Supplies were dwindling, and the bitter cold seemed endless. He was no stranger to hardship, but this time, something darker lingered on the icy winds. Swift Runner, once a man of strength and honor, seemed to lose himself as winter's grip tightened. His 6 children, wife and mother-in-law, huddled together for warmth. But as the food stores vanished, desperation took hold. When spring came, Swift Runner emerged alone, gaunt and haunted. His disheveled appearance was the first clue to the horrors hidden beneath the thawing snow. Authorities grew suspicious when he offered only vague explanations about his family's fate. Guided by unease, the investigators ventured to the desolate camp. What they found was beyond comprehension. Bones, scattered like remnants of a predator's feast. Marrow cracked and scraped clean. Swift Runner claimed the Wendigo, the malevolent spirit of insatiable hunger, had overtaken him. He insisted the creature's grip had driven him to commit unspeakable acts. Acts that turned him against those he once held dear. The trapper's trial was swift. The court saw only a man who had succumbed to darkness, not the supernatural. Swift Runner was hanged later that year, leaving behind the chilling question: was his crime merely born of starvation? Or did the Wendigo truly walk among them that winter? Ellie woke to her dad shaking her shoulder. The first light of dawn seeped through the tent's ripped, blood-flecked fabric. "We're leaving. Now." His voice was hoarse, his eyes bloodshot. They packed quickly, stuffing everything haphazardly into their packs. Mark kept glancing over his shoulder, his face drawn and pale. "Where's the food bag?" Ellie asked, glancing around. "I'm not sure," her dad said quickly, "but we have to go." The forest was silent as they hiked. No birds, no rustling leaves, just the crunch of their footsteps. Then Ellie saw them. Deep claw marks in the trunks of the trees, carved high, as if whatever had made them had towered over them. "Dad." "I know," her dad said, his voice tight. "Keep moving." They pushed on, faster now, nearly running. The edge of the forest was close. Ellie could see the break in the trees. Then her dad stumbled. He clutched his stomach, groaning. His breath was ragged, his face drenched in sweat. "Dad?" Ellie stopped, reaching for him. Her dad gasped, doubling over. "I'm so hungry." Ellie stepped back. Something in his eyes was wrong. The hunger twisted his face, his fingers twitching, his breath coming in short, frantic bursts. His skin looked thinner, stretched tight over his bones. Ellie's stomach dropped. "Dad," she whispered. "What's wrong?" Her dad's jaw clenched. His fingers curled, nails darkening, thickening. His breath came in a snarl. Then, suddenly, he squeezed his eyes shut. "Run," he choked out. "Go, now." Tears blurred Ellie's vision. "I can't. Go!" Her dad fell to his knees, his whole body convulsing. His fingers dug into the dirt, his breathing turning guttural and raspy. Ellie ran. She didn't look back. Not when she heard the growl, not when she heard the sharp crack of bones shifting, not when something that wasn't her father let out a hungry, inhuman scream. She burst from the trees, collapsing onto the road. A truck's headlights flooded over her, brakes screeching. A man jumped out. "Are you okay?" Ellie turned back to the forest. The trees stood still, silent. Her dad was gone. "Please, take me home." "What happened to you?" "Nothing," Ellie gasped. "I'm fine. Just hungry." Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into darkness, leave a comment below and tell me. What other legends would you like to explore? And remember, some monsters are born of hunger, but others are born of us. Until next time, stay safe.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.